Sorry about that. Time ran out. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to be doing carts. Carts on Easter weekend. A weekend, well, not this Friday, but Saturday and Sunday. A weekend that's going to be busy, especially with people getting last minute Easter stuff. What sense does that make to have me do carts on Easter weekend? It doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, what sense does that make? You have someone that, okay, cart association, Nation, and cashier all fall under the cashier job title. No big deal. No big deal, right? But what are you going to do? But what sense does it make to have me doing carts on the eve before Easter? What sense does that make? It doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm going to be cashiering tomorrow night, for 4.5 hours. I'm going to be cashiering Thursday and Friday. And then I'm doing carts for 2 days, then cashiering for 2 days, and then carts for 3 days after that. After my days off, 3 days after that, I'll be doing carts. Okay, what sense does that make? To me, it doesn't make any real sense. Right? What sense does it make for me to do carts on Easter weekend if you know we're going to get hit? What sense does it make for a Target store to do the same thing for their employees? Because they have the same kind of structure in a sense. Cashier and cart associate falling under the same category. I'm pretty sure of it. Same with Kmart, same with Kohl's. You know, what sense does it make for them to have some of the cashiers doing carts on a weekend you know you're going to get hit? Huh? What sense does that make? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I know for some reason I have this feeling I'm going to get called in. I'm going to get called in to do some cashiering. Because let's say they have me and they have another guy doing carts on Saturday, maybe 2 others. Let's say they have 2 or 3 of us. They're going to call me in, because I'm the cashier, maybe, not saying they will, but they're going to probably call me in and say, Brian, we need you to cashier in the register because we're getting slammed. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, folks. But if I'm meant to do carts on Easter, the eve before Easter, and on Easter Sunday, fine. And then here's something about, I mentioned in the first video, and I'm sorry if this is 2 parts, but this is something, I just got to get a lot off my chest on this vlog. But here's something that really gets me. Now, we all know, especially if you live in California, like I do, we all know that but we all know schedule-wise. Again, if you live in California like I do, or in certain states, we all know that schedule-wise, if you work 4 hours or 4.5 hours, you don't get a lunch. You don't get a meal. Right? You don't get a lunch. You don't get a lunch. End of story. You don't get a lunch. Okay. You don't get a lunch. But yet, if you're working 5 to 6 hours in 8 hours, but if you're scheduled to work 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, you do get a lunch. You get an hour lunch. Here's what doesn't make sense to me. And interpretate this as best you can. Interpretate this, folks. This Sunday, I go in the morning, in the later part of the morning, last hour of the morning. And I work to essentially to the last hour in the afternoon. Okay? The last hour in the morning to essentially the last hour in the afternoon. Alright? So I'll still have an hour left of afternoon, if you know what I mean, to do what I want. Here's what doesn't make sense to me. If I'm working from that last hour, which is about 11 a.m., and I'm getting off at 5, and every 4 hours you're supposed to have after 4 hours you get a lunch. What sense does it make for me to take an hour lunch at 3 o'clock? Okay, what sense does it make for me to take an hour lunch at 3 o'clock till 4 o'clock, knowing that I get off at 5? What sense does that make? Why don't they just take out the 5, put 4:30 and say, hey Brian, we'll just let you go at 4:30? Why don't stores do that for other employees? It doesn't make sense. This is what I was talking about in the first part. Corporations need to get the rears in gear and stop screwing around with scheduling and fix it and stop mixing things up. Because it doesn't make any freaking sense. I mean, literally, I'm just working a 4.5 hour day. All you're doing is adding a third hour on. That's all you're doing. I mean, not a third hour, but okay. All I'm basically working is a 4.5 hour day. All you're adding on is a half hour. That's it. And I'm sure my bosses, they're going to look at the scheduling for that day. And let's say my CSM who opened up let's say the CSM who was there at 5 a.m., between 5 and 5:30 a.m. yesterday. Let's say he's one of the people running the show on Sunday. One of the people that's, doing, basically in charge. He's going to look at the people scheduled. He's going to look at my schedule. The other CSMs are going to look at my schedule, and they're going to be like, what the blankety blank? Now, unless my store's closing early because of Easter, I can understand that. But when I have one of my friends and co-workers telling me, when I overhear one of my friends and co-workers saying that she is going to end up working 4:30 to 11 on Easter Sunday, what sense does some of this make? Huh? Now, I can understand 4:30 to 8:30 is 4 hours. That's lunch for her. And I can understand 8:30 to 10:30, or 8:30 to 10 would be her break. Or 8:30 to 9:45 would be a break. Okay, I can understand 4:30 to 8 being lunch. I can understand 9 to 10:40. I can understand 9 to 10 would be a break. I mean, think about this. 4:30 to 8. Okay. 4:30 to 6:30 is 2 hours, right? That's my friend's schedule. 6:30 to 8:30 is 4 hours. Or 3.5 if she goes at 8. Comes back at 9. 9 to 10 is an hour. Now, unless she takes a break between the 9:45, 10 o'clock hour, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't make any real sense. The only positive I have about this is, even though I will not be able to celebrate Easter with my grandma in Hayward the day before, because they're going to be celebrating it the day before, at least I might be able to celebrate Easter in a sense on the day of Easter here in Stanislaus County, either here in Patterson or in Modesto. That's the only way. That's the only beneficiary of that. But to me, again, it just doesn't make any sense with this kind of schedule. I mean, why would you even schedule someone for 5 hours if essentially, if they're going to go to lunch at 3 and come back at 4? What sense does that make? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Anyway, it's just been a very interesting week at my job. And like I said, it turned out good most of the day, except when we got towards the end of the day, ay, 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 ay. And I mean ay, 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 ay. Because one of the last registers that I'm on, my CSM who opened up the store, who was there from, like I say, 5:30 in the morning, tells me, okay, we need you to do this. Tells me, okay, I need you to go and do this is when you're not busy. So I go back and forth. So I'm thinking, okay. And he tells me, if you see anybody, just tell them, hey, I'm open to register 15. No problem. So I do that. And the last time I tell them that I'm open to register 15, I'm stuck at 15. I'm stuck at 15, right? So anyway, I go to 15, I'm checking people out. And then one guy comes up to me with his kid. And the guy's like, I want to purchase a money card. A money card. And he's in front of a few people. Well, not a few people, he's in front of a whole line. And I'm trying to figure out, how do I do this money card? So I have to call over my CSM. She has to take him over to customer service. And I have a bunch of people, some people leaving to go to the other lines, which I didn't mean for them to happen, but if that's the case, they got to do it. And then I have two ladies that are a little upset about what's going on, saying they waited 15 minutes, and then they say, oh, we don't blame you. We blame the damn store. We blame your damn corporation. And they're telling me, oh, and by the way, there are some people saying they're getting sick and tired of this. They're going back to the Walmart in Turlock or Modesto because they'd rather be there. They'd rather shop in these areas because they're more organized. And to me, it's like, why waste your gas, right? I didn't say that. You know, I was doing my job, being courteous. And I apologized various times. I was like, I'm sorry. You know, because I did not want this to happen. I did not want these people to wait. And I literally had to turn off my sign, put a lane closed sign, because I was going. I was leaving at 3. I was done. But the thing is, they're telling me, oh, we waited 15 minutes. I apologize. They said, oh, don't worry about it. We don't blame you. We blame the damn store. We blame the damn corporation. And I told them, I said, honestly, folks, you know, it's just the way corporate structured things, and, you know, it's not my fault, you know, and all that. It's not my store. I tried to explain to them. And I'm an honest person. I was raised to try to be honest. Or at least be honest most of the time. And I'm telling them the truth. That's what they like. That's what customers like, is honesty. Because it's not my fault our store structure, schedule-wise, is structured that way. I mean, you think the week before Easter, you would have people say, you had a corporate go like, and again, this is not just for my store, Walmart. This is for like Targets, or Kohl's, or Safeways, or Lucky's, or Macy's, or Mervyn's, or Toys R Us, or wherever. You know, you think they would schedule you. You think they would schedule correctly when it comes to the holidays. I mean, what, do they not think Easter's an important holiday? Hello? It is an important holiday. And from a religious standpoint, it is more important than people give it credit for. Because it is important for being the day that the Lord Jesus Christ resurrected. And as my pastor would say, proves the tomb in Jerusalem, in Israel, is empty. That's all the proof you need. And they don't want to take this holiday seriously, like they do Black Friday after Thanksgiving, like they do the Christmas season, like they do Halloween. It's like, give me a freaking blankety blank, 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 blank. I mean, the fact is, folks, again, I appreciate being employed by these people. I really do. But if you're not going to structure schedule-wise your store to make sure you have enough people doing cashiering, doing stocking, being in all the positions they need to be in, because Lord knows you need them, then what's more important to you? Obviously money. Now, I'm not saying money is a bad thing sometimes, especially when people say you're not making as much. But, it's just one of those days. I mean, it started out good. It was good for most of it. Get towards the end, though, it's like no. I tell you, folks. I'll say this. Most of the 7 days after that were okay. No one has said anything. Most of the 7 days were okay after that. But I'll tell you, it's been an interesting week. I mean, really interesting. And this is just the start of my new week. I'm off today. I work for 4 hours in the evening tomorrow. I'm off Wednesday. And I do my decent regular hours, 6-7 hours Thursday and Friday. Go figure. But anyway, it's just how things are, folks. It's just how things are. But just pray and hope this upcoming week and the next week and the week after that are all good. But I know people watching this two-parter have experienced similar situations. I know that because I cannot be the only one. So, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your experience have been in this similar situation. Zara Nazarak, if you want to watch this, go ahead. Let me know what your experiences have been. And really, folks, it's just, you think a corporation would have a little bit more sense, especially with a store that's only a year and 3 months old. You think they would have more corporate structure for that store? You think they would? But apparently they don't. One positive and gleaming thing of this is, at least if you're a kid, you got to see the Easter Bunny. Yeah, the Easter Bunny was at my store, if you get my drift. So, that's all I'm going to say, folks. Let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. Let me know if you've had any similar experiences. And I'll talk to you later. God bless. Take care.